Due to possible harmful extremist content, parental discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show. The views and opinions expressed on the show are not necessarily those of the station, its affiliates, or advertisers. The use of the show is only allowed with the express written permission of the producer and the host. So get ready for 2 hours of the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show starting right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show, Sunday night edition for May 24th, 2026. Man, next week it'll be June, and we're getting into the summer, man. We're like a month out from the 4th of July at this point. You know what I mean? Like, what, 6 weeks? 4th of July, baby. 4th of July. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a great summer this year. Just the best ever.
It's coming along pretty nicely so far. If we get these gas prices back down, well, then things will be going great.
Doc, where can people find you online? Let's do that right up front tonight.
Yeah, you can follow me on X, Rumble, Odyssey, and my favorite platform, Minds.com, and that's at Doctor with an E 420.
All right. And you do a lot of different content. You do like some weekly podcasts and whatnot. What? Tell us about that.
Wednesday I get together with my buddy and we discuss kind of the goings on in the culture. You know, sometimes politics, sometimes movies. Just depends on what strikes us that day. And then on Saturdays I do a weekly roundup of what's going on in the crypto and economic news. And then I do some random stuff in between there.
Yeah, sounds good. So, folks, go check out Doctor with an E, DOCTORE 420 over on all of the goodness out there on the internet. So anyway, it looks as though, and Doc, I was thinking about this the other day, and I'm like, my time is running out on this whole Iran thing. But it looks like they might have a memo of understanding. MOU, is that what it is? A bit of a peace treaty coming out. And I saw an article, today, headline was that they have agreed to not pursue nuclear weapons in any way, shape, or form and give up all their uranium in the process. And, trust but verify, right?
Yeah, I mean, I from what I understand, that Iran is not saying that that's the case. What they're saying is they agreed to stop fighting and work on opening up the strait and talk about the nuclear stuff afterward. But either way, I don't care either way how it begins. The fact is that this one does seem to be a little more solid than the previous circumstances.
Yeah, it's a 30-day agreement, and it could put an end to this for the time being, which would be fantastic. Let's see, the strait open. Let's see that oil pumping again and get these prices down across the globe.
Yeah.
It's a problem everywhere. We feel it, but so really everyone on the planet has seen the price go up. Unless you live in one of those countries where gas is 15 cents a gallon, then you don't feel it.
Yeah, but even the other industrialized nations were really feeling the pinch on this, and so it's got to come to an end. Everybody agrees, and I'm not going to argue about whether it's great or not great on Trump's part. I don't care. I just want it to end. Like, I don't want to counter signal peace. I can argue about what Trump did 2 years from now when it's all done and over, and we've moved on as a country. But it would be great if we can get this deal started down the path of peace, especially stop bombing each other. That would be a big start.
Yeah, and, hopefully there's some happy rainbow here for the Iranian people. They tried. I mean, I keep saying, they need to go out and do it. And, quite frankly, they did, right? They went out into the streets and fought, and 50, some thousand of them died in that fight, So I don't know, man. I don't understand how it's going to move forward with this regime in place. And it's not, we're not looking at regime change over there. Trump's not going to go in there and force a new, president who's not even a mullah or whatever, just to, turn it all over. So again, it's a country that we've dealt with for the last 50 years. They never keep their agreements. They're constantly funding wars, constantly up to no good, and the people they rule over don't even want it. So it's a shame. It sucks, and I don't see anything that's going on right now changing that scenario. You know what I mean? So, I mean, for the people of Iran, hey, we all tried, I guess, but hopefully this ends, but your nightmare won't.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I think it's probably going to get worse. I don't see it that it can go any other way than worse for the Iranian people. The people that are now in charge are more hardline than the people we took out, and the likelihood is they're either going to get reparations from us or some sort of payment structure for the Strait, one of the two, and so. That's going to give them the economic power to maintain the authority over their people.
Yeah, and I feel for all those women who tore off their burqas and lit, the Ayatollah's picture, on fire.
Yeah. Well, fortunately enough, a lot of those people weren't actually in the country. Fortunately enough.
Yeah, but a lot of them were. And for those, the sad hope that they have is that they can just cover up their face for the rest of their lives and not be recognized, so to speak. You know what I mean? Just go into hiding out in the open, which is a horrifying thought, but it's the horrifying reality they live in where, you can tell me they choose to be covered at all times. It's, their respect for God that they cover everything but their eyes. I don't believe it. I don't believe it on a 110-degree day in the middle of the desert that you want to be, wrapped in black wool all day for the rest of your life, every day, all day, everywhere you go. There's no way anyone wants that,
Yeah, I mean, I really don't concern myself with what goes on in those countries. That they have their place and we have ours, and I just want this to end. It's sad for them, but at the end of the day, we could have done a lot of things differently in history, and those people would have never been in power in that place. I think the best thing that the U.S. can do is wipe their hands clean of the Middle East and focus on home.
I would agree too. I really would. It's a long way from here. And we always act like the implications are huge, but, are they really? If another, country fails or people live in it's been happening for 1,000 years, Let them do what they want to do in their own country. They bring it here, you got another thing coming, Yeah. And we're fighting that fight too. It's just a different, battle. It's, as Brent Hamachek always talks about the battalions, on each side of team left, team right, and the battles they go out and fight. There are many such to be had. And I don't know. We're just looking at a part of the world that we probably shouldn't be meddling in. And who cares, really? At the end of the day, who cares?
Yeah, unfortunately, we just aren't in the capacity as a country to focus on other countries. We have too many problems at home. If this were a different way, if we had a balanced budget, no debt, a raging economy from manufacturing, and it didn't concern us, I'm sure we could get a bunch of men to volunteer to go over there and help change that country for good. But that's not the circumstance we're in. We're desperate for jobs. We're desperate for manufacturing. We're, deaded up to the gills. People at home want things taken care of. Yeah, there's no denying the amount of debt we're in. And, as much as we root for Trump, or I do at least, from time to time, he hasn't done anything to even blink at the debt. It doesn't matter at all. You know what I mean? He knows something that no one else on earth knows, that debt really doesn't matter.
that we can be $40 trillion in debt, that it can be our largest expenditure in the federal government is interest on the debt. What is it up to, like $1 trillion a year now?
Last I checked, it was just under $1 trillion at 950,000 or 950 billion was the interest.
Yeah, and so we take in what, $5 trillion a year? And
we spend like 7.2.
Yeah, so it's like if you made 50 grand a year and you spent 10 grand a year on interest, on your credit cards. That's the kind of situation that America's in. If you're making 50,000 a year and you have, what is it, like 500,000 in debt? And mind you, it's not like equity in a home. This is debt that's just for stuff you paid for. You know what I mean? To keep the roads paved.
Keep the military stocked, pay the DHS, all those things. Yep.
Exactly. But you didn't, it's not like we built the highway system in the last 15 years, right? If anything, it's deteriorated.
Yeah.
What's that bridge in Baltimore that's like not even like in the planning phase yet to come back? Francis Key.
Yeah, the Francis Key Scott Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're gonna start thinking about building that one of these years. California, how many permits have they issued?
Probably not many. This is the problem, though. We run into these regulatory issues at the local and state level, and then you have federal regulations on top of that. Like nothing, in a federally controlled blue state is able to actually get anything done in any kind of speedy manner. Like to do something and to build a brand new business from scratch in California, you have to do all of these Green New Deal kind of regulations for your business that most people can't even afford to start a business of any kind in California. Like that's what you're dealing with.
And they say so much of that is just by design. We have, as the old saying goes, the best government money can buy. And you think about what it costs to put a politician in your pocket. You know what I mean? 100 grand, heck, $1 million. If you're Dow Chemical and you want to put $1 million in someone's pocket to make legislation happen that makes it nearly impossible for anyone to compete against you, that's chump change. Yeah. You'll make that million back 50 times over, 100 times over. They say one of the highest rates of return you can get as a business is by investing in, K Street and lobbyists.
Yep, 100%. And, the even better returns that the countries that want to see us in chaos get is buying local politicians. You can put $10,000 into a mayoral race and you own it.
Yeah. George Soros did that with all the DA races. You know what I mean? You hear about these crazy DAs all over the country that are letting people out for committing horrific crimes. And most, if not all of those DAs were, sponsored by George Soros and his organizations in order to put people like that into power to, we talk about demoralization all the time on this show. Going back to Yuri Bezmenov and the 3, steps to taking down a civilization, a capitalist civilization, demoralization is the first and foremost. You have to get people to the point where they are just looking around and saying, how can this be? If you're somebody in England right now, you're getting there. You're really getting there. Then it's the crisis, then it's rebuild. The crisis is going to come, and we're going to watch it. That's why I love doing politics in the UK so much, because they're going to hit that crisis phase before us, probably 5 years before us. And it's just fascinating to see it all set up exactly the way it was predicted. Demoralize, send them into a crisis, and then rebuild. They're getting really demoralized over there, as we were during the Biden years. I mean, it's like they flat out stole the election. They put in a senile old coot who couldn't find his way up, and we were just supposed to believe it was all real, that it was all like the will of the people that happened, when it was so clearly stolen and so clearly just meant to demoralize us, man. They handpicked Joe Biden to demoralize, to put us in a place where we looked at our government and said, what have we become? You know? Kamala Harris, holy cow.
Yeah, and they do the same thing with the governors. They do the same things with the mayors. Mm-hmm. You look at Karen Bass. You look at Mamdani in New York City. You look at the governor here in Oregon. She is a tried and true believer in the great socialist project, and she's done everything in her power, including operating under emergency authorization for half of her term, to do all kinds of things to terrorize the people of Oregon. You know, we're in the middle of a gas crisis, and she's trying to raise gas taxes.
Yeah, I have an article up here, too. I'm just looking for it right now about the Wisconsin gubernatorial candidate is claiming openly that Wisconsin is stolen land. Okay. Francesca Hong is her name. And she's, Wisconsin is stolen land and we need no police. Police are a really bad idea. Abolish the police. That's for governor, folks. It's one thing to be some state, rep or whatever and have crazy thoughts, but the governor, the mayor of New York, Mamdani, in the same boat. Heck, Tim Walz, is he any better? Does Tim Walz openly admit that Wisconsin is stolen land? Maybe not, but does he admit it at a cocktail party if you get him after a couple of glasses of wine? I bet he does.
I don't know, how many visits has he gone to China to do his little China visits? I don't know, 9 or 10 times he's been to China.
Yeah, a dozen. Didn't he honeymoon there, or was that Bernie Sanders?
I can't remember, but I know there's pictures of him with Mao's little red book in China.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he digs it. It's all good, and it is all good for China. If China wants that, then hey, China can have it. Again, opposite side of the planet, let them do what they want. Don't support them. Don't, trade with them much more than you really have to. Don't encourage them, don't finance them. But if they want to live like that, they can live like that. It's just we, have a wall of separation like we always have had with Cuba. If Cuba wants to live like that, fine, but we're not going to trade with you. We're going to have an embargo and we want nothing to do with you guys. Good luck, right? If they open up and they actually hear, in the next week, I'm hearing rumors that Marco Rubio might be appointed the king of Cuba. But, if peace is brought and a stable form of government is replaced in Cuba, the floodgates will open up down there like nobody's ever seen. Money will pour into Cuba and there will be a chicken in every pot within a month.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. It's we're dealing with entities that would like to see the collapse of Western society, and they would like to see it replaced with a global world fascist state that mimics what China is. Like when you're talking about the people in Cuba, they were like version 1.0 of this. When you look at China, they're like version 2.0 of this. And these countries are going to try to influence the United States with whatever power they can. And it's like you said, if they're going to do that, you have to cut them off. And that's why I never had a problem with the embargo of Cuba. I never had a problem with, embargoing with Iran or any of those other countries. If you don't want to trade with a country, I don't think you should be forced to, unlike the globalists. But on the other side, we made a really serious mistake with China, and we let a lot of our, major industries go over there. And that's something that we have to rectify. I don't know where we put them or how we do it, but we certainly need to cut off our dependency on China so much.
Yeah, it's moving companies over there, any kind of sensitive technology, cutting edge things that could be stolen. They were all stolen, every last bit of it. You know what I mean? If you went over there and you had some proprietary manufacturing process that was patented or whatever, it's just gone. They don't care, And that's the thing. I think most people went over there eyes wide open, though, understanding that that's their culture. And it's not, necessarily a bad thing. It's just their culture that if you invent something, it belongs to the world. It doesn't belong to you, where you can go patent it and make, millions of dollars over the next decade because you had a stroke of genius one day, right? It just gets assimilated into society and everybody benefits and nobody gets to get ahead on that. It's just a cultural thing. You know what I mean? But it's a very big cultural difference and it's massive to America. We call it intellectual property, right? And we covet that, whereas they don't. So
yeah, it's kind of a more Western ideal, a cultural idea of intellectual property. Although I come from a libertarian camp where I think intellectual property has been stretched to cover a lot of things that shouldn't be intellectually property covered, but that's a whole different discussion. But yeah, you're right. I mean, culturally to them, something invented by the Chinese is for all Chinese and the world, and not for an individual to market and make money off of. In fact, they were stealing, like, individual small entrepreneurs in the United States were constantly fighting with Google and other companies that did their distribution for those companies having over in China copying their design and selling it on Google, and Google promoting the Chinese version over their version. I don't know if you remember that story, but they're constantly stealing, and you can't deal with, if you have a culture that values private IP rights and a culture that doesn't, you can't have commingling business in that atmosphere.
Yeah, it's and our pharmaceutical companies and our IT companies, they all say, look, we pour billions of dollars into research to come up with these things, therefore we need patents on them, or there's no reason for us to invest in that technology, right? Why create a new drug and spend all the billions of dollars it takes to do that if we can't make money off of it? And so it does stimulate an environment where people can take risks to try to develop new things, knowing that there's a way to be rewarded for it in the long run, which is why, so much more innovation comes out of American companies in general, or countries at least where those types of systems are in place.
Yeah. I mean, look at Germany in the 1800s. They've had a massive scientific boom, and it led to all kinds of industrial products coming out of Germany that wouldn't have otherwise been able, like, they would have been stolen by Russia, they would have been stolen by the UK, they would, you know what I mean? Like, everybody would have copied it. It very much does create an atmosphere of competition, but it can be abused like any policy. I think that's probably the libertarians' biggest gripe with IP, is how it's abused by big companies to protect from having to fight competition. But when you're talking about cultural level, at Western culture versus Eastern culture, they just don't mix. They don't mix when it comes to business like this. When you can't have a company that designs and comes up with the idea in America and then produces it in China, because China's going to copy whatever you're doing in that factory and build their own factory to do it.
Yeah, and then export them back to America at 10% of the cost.
Yeah, flooding the market. Yeah.
Yeah, how do you compete with that? Because they have no R&D. So it's just, put these chemicals in a pill and off you go, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, no, it's a big deal. We just had a summit with China, and hopefully good things will come of it. But by good things, I mean, like, not much. We don't really want to feed the beast. We really don't. We want them isolated from our markets. Look what they're about to do to Taiwan. I mean, they've been threatening it for a long time, but they say every time, and trust your enemy when they say something, that they mean it, that, Taiwan is their legal property, that it is part of China. And one day they will go in there and invade it and take it, I wouldn't say, they'll say take it back, but it really never was part of China. If you look at the history, it was a place where Chinese escaped to. When they needed to escape communist China, they went to Taiwan, Yeah. And so, yeah, they share language and a lot of, genetics and whatnot, but they're not the same country. And nor I think Taiwan ever really want to be part of China. There hypothetically could be a couple advantages, but I see the disadvantages as, 1,000 to 1, including, what little freedom they have over there. Yeah. It's just straight up gone.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw exactly what would happen when we saw the reunification of Hong Kong with communist China. I mean,
yeah,
they crack down on all dissidents. Yeah, they let Hong Kong make as much money as they want, but and use it for money laundering. But they lost all the things that made Hong Kong a free market.
Yep. And I don't know why England decided to do that, 30 years earlier? Well, I think they would probably be doing it right about now if they'd have stuck to the original agreement, And instead they moved it up.
Yeah, globalism, man. It's the whole 2030 global reset. That's why.
Yeah. So anyway, we were talking about Cuba before, and a big headline came out today. Code Pink co-founder Medea Benjamin and communist influencer Hassan America Deserved 9/11 Piker are both facing subpoenas from the federal government over their trip to Cuba. And, the subpoena is asking for any conversations, communications they had with the Cuban government, or, who was involved, what really went down, was what monies were transferred. Things along those lines. Did they get paid to do this? Did they get paid by Cuba to go down there and try to promote it? And step in the middle and try to make a Trump, orange man look bad? Or did they, even go down there and bring with them any, funds or things that may have gone to organizations that are being, embargoed by the United States? So if they were supporting, basically, breaching the embargo, if they went and defied the terms of that embargo, they could face some heat for that as well. And obviously there's enough here for a subpoena, which is kind of interesting, to see a couple, straight up America-hating communists get tapped on the shoulder for what could be subversive, behavior in support of a communist regime 90 miles from our border.
I am very thrilled about this one personally. It's about time we start arresting some American communists and sending them off to the gulag. I don't know if Hassan is going to get charged or not, or if there's going to be any. I would guess that if anything happens, it's going to be a light tap on the wrist just to make sure that everybody knows you can't do this kind of thing. But at the end of the day, America has a communist problem. And a serious one. And it's about time we start taking it seriously at the highest levels of power, because if we don't, a bunch of them are going to get elected.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's already happening. Lordy, 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 is it happening?
Yeah.
I'm just seeing, everywhere we look, it's just, a this creep of the democratic socialists into America. They're not Democrat, dude. Don't confuse them, folks at home. Don't confuse the Democrat Socialists with the Democratic Party. They're wildly different. And Democrat Socialists are absolute, really just as far left as you can go. Think AOC, you're halfway there. You know what I mean?
I like to always think about it like this. Karl Marx, the founder of Marxism, said, socialism is how you get to communism.
Yeah. Yeah.
They are the tool to bring about American communism.
Mm-hmm. And socialism is, the government owns the means of production. Right? They're held in commune for everyone. The means of production. It means that the IRS is going to be, running GM, or whatever else it is out there. Just think of any scenario and then put bureaucrats in charge of it. What should the price of tea be in Peoria? Well, let's get a bureaucrat to just stamp a price on it. And then, nobody can really ever know what the price is because there's no free market anymore. It's just all about them throwing down laws. What's the price of rent going to be in New York? Well, for 1 bedrooms, it's this, 2 bedrooms, it's this, 3 bedrooms, it's this. And they think they've got a great solution, but not all 1 bedrooms are made the same. You know what I mean? Different neighborhoods, different layouts, different, square footage. And so no matter how they try to go to the greatest lengths to encapsulate all of this into some sort of a logic that the markets can work with, it never works out because they're dictating instead of letting what Adam Smith called the free hand of the economy work its magic, to just let, you and I've got something, you need something. I sit down and say, I need to get this much out of it to, make a profit and feed my family. And you say, well, I can afford just about that much as well. So we agree on a price, and it's a price that makes sense to both of us, and we both walk away happy. That's capitalism. Two people go into an agreement where both benefit freely.
Yep.
They both freely go into it, and they both benefit from said agreement. And yet it's called some evil thing when it's really just two people saying, hey, you got a banana? I'm hungry. I'll buy a banana from you. How about $1? And you say $1 sounds fine. Boom. We just entered into free market capitalism, and we're both happy for it. You know what I mean? It's mind numbing that people call that some, hand of evil or something,
Well, I think we live in a distorted system. Like we don't live in a true capitalist system anymore. It's we live in what's called a crony capitalist system, where it's this blending of top-down control, heavy regulation, and dictation of what can and cannot be placed at market value. And that leads to all kinds of distortions and fraud. And I mean, it's one of those things that the young people see the symptoms of the problem and don't actually understand what's causing it behind it. And so they think more socialism will actually fix it. That's where the education system has failed us dramatically. But I think the guys that are trying to do the communism now are going to try to count on Comrade Claude, the AI leader, to make sure the communism works. I think that's their plan, unfortunately.
Yeah, have a robot do it.
Yeah.
Great. The problem with capitalism as it represents itself in America is what I mentioned earlier, and you touched on this as well just a second ago, which is why I bring it up. We have the best government money can buy. And so much of the regulations, the things that make it so hard for business to operate, were placed there by those same businesses precisely to make it harder for other people to operate in their environment. They've got the only specialists, the only people that really understand truly what the laws are, because they wrote the laws.
Yeah.
In a back office in Silicon Valley or wherever, and then sent it off to K Street with the big check, and it became law. Yep. And so, yeah, we're looking at the situation where we need to get away from that and back towards, let's make it all simple. Let's make it all easy. If you want to open a business, who's to stop you from selling eggs on the corner if you got a chicken? You know what I mean? Go for it.
Yep. And we have liability laws to cover that. Like we don't need all these extra layers of protections and regulations and things like that. Like those kind of things, like land usage and zoning, that's all a local level thing. Liability covers all of those other issues. But again, it's like you said, we have the best legal system money can buy as well, and they've written all kinds of codes and things to make it so that they can take you to court and stop you from doing this, that, or the other thing. And it really does slow business down. We need to get back to a freer market for sure.
Yeah. And the best healthcare money can buy as well. Let's not forget
it's very true. Pretty much anything that the government touches tends to end up with a big bloated bureaucracy. And that is costing us money.
Mm-hmm. And it's so clearly seen in, what colleges cost. We go back like another generation, our parents' generation. And if they wanted to go to college, it was like $5 to go take a class at the community college. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was no big deal. And back then, teachers complained that they didn't make enough, and they were right. They didn't. Today, you hear the same thing, and they're right. But the problem today is that there's 10 administrators for every teacher.
Yes.
And our systems are so bloated that, they can't do basic things because there's too many people on high dictating what needs to be done and said in that space, when really it should just be the teacher, a book, and, Blackboard. So, yeah, look at education. They've destroyed it. They've tried to make it cheaper and easier and better, and they've made it way more expensive, much, much worse. And, like, put it in such a situation that it made it really easy for people to get student loans. And so since the kids were so flush with cash, the colleges saw it as free money and just raised prices.
Yep.
And now, you come through, you get a degree that's nowhere near as good as it would have been 20 years ago, 30 years ago. And it costs you your future. Now you're saddled in debt for the rest of your life, or for at least the next 20 years.
Yeah. And I think that's why a lot of the younger vote is very, very, very angry with the way the economy is going. It's because it has been rigged to a certain degree for people who are already in the system. And that the only way to change that is we have to reduce the size of government and reduce the regulation. You're never going to fix that by demanding more taxes and increasing the size of the government.
Yeah. And look what they're doing now, H-1B visas, where all these tech companies they have entire departments that are just Indian that you can't even work in if you're not Indian. You wouldn't even understand what they're talking about, right? Or, there's other nationalities as well, but Indians are just, very predominant in a lot of the tech companies. And they just bring over all these people every year that work for much lower rates than college grads, because college grads have to pay off all that debt. These guys, heck, you can learn the same stuff online. Elon Musk was just talking about that yesterday. You don't really need to go to college anymore. It's all online. And I bet they roll out an AI, grok version that's just designed for education purely. You want an equivalent of a Harvard education? Come on by.
Oh yeah, AI is going to
software and off you go.
Yeah, AI is going to replace a lot of the education field because if you're a self-starter and you got AI, a paid-for subscription AI, and you have a internet connection, you can learn and teach yourself just about anything you want to learn.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, complicated things. You want to become a consultant in a very complicated, industry, go for it. It's all there.
You want to build robotics and have no idea how? It'll help you.
Yeah. Web development. Heck, graphic design.
Yeah, exactly.
Graphic design used to be something. Now it's nothing. I mean, AI made me a really pretty living room. Boom, you're done. I just did it in 5 seconds. What would have taken, somebody 10 years ago, an entire day with Photoshop,
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be a shock to the system of the economy, but I think at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, when we get through the bubble and on the other side, it's going to massively increase the productivity of those who adopt it as a technology.
Yeah. And that's really the lesson here, folks. Use it and use it smart, and you'll come out ahead.
Yep.
But it's also a time suck. I see how it does that to people.
Yeah, if you have a little bit of an obsessive compulsive attitude or disposition, you might want to limit your time. Put yourself a hard limit.
Yeah. Oh, Lordy. So, yeah, here we are, man. Looking at potentially, peace in Iran here, maybe. I would hope that comes to be. We'll see.
Fingers
it'd be amazing to see, national average for gas back at $3. That'd be great. No reason that can't happen this summer. That'd be a wonderful thing. I'd love it.
Yeah, I would love to see that as well. We're close to $5 here, so anything below $3.50 would be great.
And anything over $5, and you're right back in Joe Biden territory.
Pretty much.
I'll tell you, Trump, if this goes the wrong way, Mr. President, and the prices do get up over $5, man, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. You really, it is. It's bad. We need to get out of this thing. We need to find a way through to the other side, and we need to do it right now. I hope this peace deal you're talking about works, and God forbid if it doesn't, man. Things can go one of two ways in the midterm. And it's all dependent on what happens over the next couple of months. And gas is a huge part of it, Really is. Anyway, folks, this is the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show, Sunday night edition. We got to go to break, but we'll be right back after these messages.
And we are clear.
I will be right back.
Yep.
Okay.
Radio break. Yes. What are you doing now?
Oh.
Got the little pup underneath me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine was yelling at me in the last segment there.
Oops. Here we go.
Oh, it's a puppy.
Yeah.
Puppy. Who's he get a puppy?
Yeah. She's adorable, isn't she?
Well, she's a good girl. It's a puppy.
Yeah. Winona. Yep. I know you've been wanting to go up on the bed, so there you go.
Well, you got a big gulp over there, man?
Huh?
That's crazy. Is that a big gulp?
Oh, yeah, I got a big
table?
gulp right there, yeah. Filled with water.
Okay.
I don't even know if they sell them anymore.
Well, they sell pretty damn big sodas. I haven't been to 7-Eleven in a long time. But
I have like probably about 8 or 10 of those cups. Yep. I love them because you put something cold in there and they stay cold for quite a while.
Yeah.
I used to have a Mountain Dew one of those.
Did
big
you?
One.
Yeah. The only thing that I haven't done is put coffee in them yet. And the day I do that, it's over. I mean, then I won't be getting up to get drinks. I'll be like, okay, that's a half a pot of coffee or a pot right there.
Yeah.
It's like
that's damn near a pot of coffee.
Yeah. Yeah, really.
Yeah, they were nice for working out in the fields, for sure. Haven't done that kind of work in a long time, though, thankfully.
Yep.
The pot fields of Idaho?
No, the Christmas tree fields of northern Pennsylvania. I helped my dad convert our family farm into a Christmas tree farm as a, 10 to 13 to about 21 when I quit working for him.
Mm-hmm.
Because I realized at that point he was not going to hand over the keys to the business ever.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm out of here.
I'm
not going to be
well, at least he didn't go into like apples and pears. That would have been a real pain too.
He did move into some trees. We by the time I left, we were digging and growing everything: maples, different kind of shrubbery, and all kinds of stuff.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. And then 2008 happened, and the business kind of became a side hustle, and he went back to driving truck.
Yeah, 30 seconds, guys. Yeah. Oh, you're fine.
Hey, Mark, this meeting's going to end in 14 minutes.
Yeah. It's usually when it does. Here's your countdown.
Oh, my God.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're live and on the radio side right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Censorship Sucks Round Table Radio Show, Sunday night edition. With me tonight, we got Doc in the house. What's up, Doc?
Oh, not too much. Enjoying the conversation. Hoping, fingers crossed, toes crossed, that we get this Iran deal done. All the good stuff.
Let's see. I always like to cover some fun stories in this segment. And this is the opposite of that. This is a horrible story, but it's kind of funny. New Jersey family was trying to enjoy the great outdoors, but a rabid beaver had other plans. Okay. According to KABC TV, they posted footage to social media platform X on May 6th showing a man filming an altercation between the aforementioned family and their attacker, a crazed beaver. And this beaver just keeps coming back for more and more and more, right? They're horrified. It's jump up on this guy, takes him down, bites him apparently a couple times. A beaver. You're seeing their teeth?
Oh, yeah.
Don't want to get bit by a beaver. Until one of them actually picks the thing up and just chucks it off about 20 feet into the river, lake, whatever it was, said body of water. And then the beaver decides to swim off, and they all kind of get their act together and brush off and obviously go to the hospital to get rabies shots.
Yeah, lesson in this is do not picnic next to a beaver dam. Don't do it.
Uh-huh.
They are very territorial, like extremely territorial.
Are they?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know that. I don't see beaver dams on a day-to-day basis in my life. You know what I mean? I have had exposure to them in the past, but no, I don't, come across them very often. So, but it's good to know that I should probably keep a little bit of distance if they're working away on their dam there, trying to make it, a little better, a little stronger, a little more permanent.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, I don't like intruders coming into my yard either. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But yeah, no, this footage, I don't know if you've seen it or not, folks, but
I did.
Wild.
It's funny. Yeah.
Yeah. I put it in here under kind of funny, but it's also kind of horrifying.
Well, it's scary. It would be scary if you were in this situation, but seeing it from the outside, it's very funny.
Mm-hmm. Yes, from the outside, it's good stuff. So let's see here. In other news, we had Stephen Colbert did his last show the other night. And, people are saying, hey, it was a great show. Look at all the millions of people that watched it. 6.74 million, right? But now you compare that with some of the other, last nights for other big shows. Letterman had 13.8, so about twice. Johnny Carson, 55 million viewers, his last show. Jay Leno, 14.6. You know, so not really a big historic thing. And, it was bleeding money, folks. That's the difference. Johnny Carson went out on a profit. Everybody made a big old, fat pile of money when Johnny Carson was in town. Stephen Colbert, man, the studio lost money consistently. What, 40 million a year, I think it was?
Something like that,
and
yeah.
You can't do that. Have you seen his staff? How big it was?
I did see that picture, yeah.
Huge. Mostly white, by the way.
Oh, wait, you mean the diversity-loving late night host didn't have a diverse cast helping him out?
I'm looking at the picture right now, and I'm just scanning around, and I don't see any people of color in this thing. I mean, there might be a few, but I guess if I get right up close on it, I might find a couple.
Maybe an Asian or two.
Yeah, I think I might see an Asian there in the front row. Yeah, it's predominantly white. And you got a staff of 200 to write what? Donald Trump pooped his pants? He's Vladimir Putin's what? I don't want to say it on the air. Holster.
Yeah, it's really surprising how bad the show was, considering how many people they had working. I mean, you can only make fun of Trump so much. There are other things in the world that are funny, and they just never once did them. Never once.
Yeah, and I bet they had writers there that would write the stuff. Let's keep it fair and balanced and have a couple of people that write, jokes from a conservative side. But, they just never made it past the desk. It just, that's not funny. That's not funny.
Oh, yeah, it's just like SNL. Yeah, like SNL. Yeah.
You want to do a skit about Biden being senile? That's not funny at all. Yeah, it is. It's really funny, actually.
That's elder phobic or whatever it is.
Yeah, no, it's very funny, folks. You gotta. There was so much to make fun of Joe Biden for, you know, and they
Kamala
just played him like
Harris.
the silver fox, you know, or Harris
Yeah.
too. Yeah,
So much there to make fun of. And
I mean,
all of our politicians could be made fun of. Lots of them are goofy. Like there was lots of targets out there.
absolutely, but they just had a hatred. You know, the whole left is really still to this point. It's just based on a hatred. There is no. Have you seen some of these testimonies the other day? I'm trying to think who it was. Was in Congress showing photos of, you know, the horrible things. Rosa Parks, you know, when they say this is going to be segregation 2.0 and whatnot, you know, he's like, this is what that looked like. No one's paying a poll tax. You know what I mean? No one's out here doing any of the things you guys claim is coming. None of it's actually happening in the real world, yet you guys are claiming that we're living through the civil rights war of our time when we're not. And Doc, it's one thing and one thing only, man. Racism is one of those things that the left can constantly point at because it can never be cured. It can never go away. It'll always exist in some form, shape, or something at some level of society. You know what I mean? It can never completely go away so they can beat the dead horse till the cows come home. You know, 20, 30 years from now, they'll still be talking about the same global warming, the same racism. They've found these different ideas that just have no cure. No, there's nothing you can do about them. You know?
Yep.
So they want to push them forever and ever and ever because it only serves to divide the country. And there's no way you can ever prove that it's gone. You can't prove global warming's not an issue anymore. If somebody wants to go up and fearmonger on it, you know, okay, fearmonger away. There's, you know, you can't prove that the ice caps aren't going to melt in 20 years. You can't prove they will. We don't know. So
it's very much like
it's
very much like the Roe versus Wade thing. Why they were so upset that President Trump overturned it. It wasn't because it will lead to less abortions. In fact, it hasn't. It actually led to the codification of abortion rights in various states. But the reality is that it took away one of their tools to run in national elections. And they hated it. Hated him for it.
And one that they've been running on for my entire life.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's an important thing that they were using to drum up the money and all that stuff. And it never really mattered, though. You know what I mean? It was never about one side or the other. They just wanted the issue. They never wanted the cure. They never wanted the solution where society can live happily. And, you know, it's not this huge issue all over the world. Go to Europe, and they're not running on abortion. You know what I mean? That's not the center of their campaign ads. It's just not, because it's been kind of agreed upon over there that they, you know, set rules in place that limit it after a certain point, and everyone says, yeah, you know, it's about where it should be, so it's not an issue.
Yeah. Something they dealt with a long time ago that had been kept in the political zeitgeist for a very long time and used as a wedge issue by the Democrats for a very long time.
And now it's not anymore. Now it's gone. Now it's no longer a national political issue. It's a state issue, which is great. You know, you can run on it in your state, but most states, it's really not even that big of an issue because they're either red or blue. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like New York's already made their plan. Colorado already made it legal up to birth. California, legal up to birth, no questions asked. You know, it's Oklahoma did the opposite. Texas did the opposite, right? So, you know, in different states, it's really just not an issue. I mean, you're going to go to Ohio and make it an issue? Maybe the governor's race, it can be an issue, but still, that's where it belongs, not at the national level. So,
100%.
Anyway, Folks, this is the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show, Sunday night edition, May 24th, 2026. Keep in mind, every Sunday night we're on for 2 hours. And we're also on Wednesday night, right here on this same exact radio station, every Wednesday night, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, for 2 hours as well. And, you know, the Wednesday show, we try to dive into a little more news, keep it a little more serious. We like to have some fun over here on the Sunday night. So if you know what's coming on, stay tuned. We got to go to break. We'll be right back after these messages.
Great. We are on radio
All right.
break. Yep.
Now it's Husqvarna time.
Husqvarna.
Rain. Let's go. Powered up. Get them started.
Yeah, I got you covered on that.
Oh, Willie.
We're on.
Let's I'm gonna let this one wind down a little bit more before we switch over.
Okay. Okay.
Dearly beloved, we're gathered here to this day. Oh my God. He'll be like, hey, now I canceled out. I ran out on her. What? It's gonna be runaway groom tonight, most likely.
I can't wait to find out about his love life, you know, his sex life, and how that's going. How that works.
Know. It probably bites.
Yeah, I would imagine. I'm sure there's blood involved.
A lot of it, potentially. I saw Scarface.
Yeah. One of the first scenes as a kid, I was like, oh, God.
Don't go in there, you gonna die.
I think I was like 10 when I saw that movie.
Yeah, I was
maybe
pretty young,
12,
too.
something like that. Yeah.
What a crazy, geez, he did that so well.
Yeah, movie still holds up. It's still a decent flick.
Oh, it's still a great flick. Yeah, I mean, it really.
If you're into that kind of stuff, but anyways.
Well, I mean, you got to be. Well, I like crime boss movies, so.
It's such a great example of how many Scarfaces did Biden let into this country? How many people out there are really just like that guy that are living out there in society today?
Yeah,
lots of them.
All right,
like
guys,
half of them
I'm
going to
switch us over. All right. All right. That was hour 1 of the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show. Sunday edition coming up is hour 2, and I'll get them up and rolling here in just a minute. Uh-oh. Hey now. Gotta get John in here. Hey, Willie.
There he is.
Uh-oh. Look out. Dr. David Hoggington III is in.
We got Willie and Dr. Hoggington. It's going to be a wild one tonight.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'd asked David Hogg to have Hansel or Michael the Midget officiate that there wedding, man.
Okay. Well, I see that David is here. David, were you able to secure either Michael or Hansel?
Michael's here.
Okay. Are you going to do the wedding, Michael?
Yeah, I'm going to be the efficient. I'll do it really quick.
Yeah, really quick.
Sounds good.
Like Spaceballs?
We're going to do this thing, man. I'm having second thoughts, though, man. I've seen some bigger and better chainsaws out there. Come on.
It's just last-minute jitters.
Yeah, cold feet. Everybody gets them.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't want to take and have something come up, where they make a movie about you, the runaway groom.
Yeah, you should be a Mormon. Then you can have all the chainsaws you want.
Yeah, there you go.
Only if you move to Mexico.
How about our Doc 69? Hey, man, I come up with an idea.
Oh, no.
What's
Watch
that?
your pocket.
I put the checkbook. I sent the checkbook with the wife.
Yeah, no, man. Hey, we can take foot shavings, man, like people that buffs the bottom of the calluses off their feet and their hands and stuff, man. Hey, we can take that stuff and sell it for Parmesan cheese. Hey, because you know they all.
What?
Oh, hey, hey, that's a good idea, man. Hey, because they already put sawdust in Parmesan cheese, man. Hey, or hey, better yet, man. Hey, we could use it for goldfish food. Goldfish food, man.
Now
Turn your
would
goldfish
work.
into a piranha.
Yeah. Hey, you know what I'm talking about? Callus shavings, man.
Yeah. My first wife was an esthetician. She had to do all that stuff.
Yeah, hey, you got to have ideas, man. I'm telling you, come on.
Come on.
Hey, let's do it. Have
Yeah,
your
hey,
people
we
get a
got-
hold of my people.
Hey, we got tornado weather, man, up here in South Carolina. It's bad.
Really?
Oof, that's not good.
He's just trying
You're
to
just
call off
making
the
up
wedding.
excuses.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's raining. I don't want my hi Michael the midget come up with this one, calling my chainsaw my Husqvarna, calling it my little husky Varna. I named my
Husky food.
chainsaw Varna. My little
Yeah, I
old
thought he was marrying a
Husqvarna.
fat chick named Varna.
Yeah, like I said, the only thing is, though, man, is she ain't nothing but a little old 440. I might need to get me something a little bit bigger. You know what I'm saying?
You know, once you marry them, have a tendency to get bigger on their own.
This is true. You can actually swap out the blade size. Just put a bigger blade on it.
Yeah, no, man. Hey, I need a bigger motor, man. I need to go from a 40cc to a 105cc. That's what I need. I don't know
Just
what
get a
them CC
motorcycle.
stands
Yeah,
for, man.
Willie has become desensitized.
Well, that'll happen when you're out there with a chainsaw with teeth like that.
He's just got cold feet. It's going to be a shotgun wedding, I'm telling you.
Hey, man, I seen something else on the internet too, man, about a testicle bra for men. Hey, it's a little old a holder for your testes, man. I had a good idea right there too. Come on, hey, that way
So
they
instead
don't.
of a banana hammock, you get a ball hammock.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, you got to have ideas. Come on.
Wait a minute, your balls already come in a sack.
Yeah, no, hey, but it keeps them from dangling down in the toilet bowl, man.
In the toilet bowl.
As you get older, that's the problem. You gotta watch
Yeah,
out.
but you're supposed to use the toilet paper to manufacture like a little sling or a nut hammock. You just wrap it up like a mummy.
No, man. Hey, how about a little boat? You can like put a little boat on.
Yeah, like a little life preserver for each nut. That way they float.
Yeah, they can float around in there, man, in their own little boat. Come on.
Yes.
Whatever floats your
Yes.
boat, Willie, I guess.
Put a little dinghy in there.
Or
Tell it to
float
quit
your
playing with this
testes,
dinghy.
man. Whatever float your testes.
Oh, my.
Down the Yellow River by IP Freely.
I pee freely.
Yep. Little Brown Mountains by Squat and Leave It.
No, man. Hey, no, they got a chainsaw, man. It's called a Neotech, man. It's like some new stuff they come out with. This thing is 105 cc's, and it's got a 36-inch, 42-inch bar on it, man. Hey, it's good for what they call milling, for making boards. I don't know if I want to marry this little old husky Varna or not, man.
So, Willie, for
I'll
your
tell you,
bachelor
man.
party, did you guys all go to the Home Depot?
I'm down at Home
I'm
Depot.
sorry.
Hey, man.
I thought it was
Up
at
and down the
Lowe's.
chainsaw aisle?
I went to Lowe's
Yeah.
instead, thinking that that's where he'd be. It was at Home Depot instead. Oh my God!
No, man. Hey, we on the front porch. On the front porch, man. We got people coming over and everything. Aunt Mama Lou, all her brothers and not her brothers, but her brother-in-laws and her 23 sisters is going to be here, man.
30 seconds.
Copy that. Copy that.
So we're going to talk about football tonight, right? Or hockey?
Yes.
Well, the World Cup is coming, and the ticket prices are like it's actually pretty shocking. There's hotel occupancies for the World Cup are like at 20%.
Okay. Anyways, here's your countdown.
Any given summer, they're at like 70.
5.
Are you running? I don't
4,
run into Michael the Midget's
3,
time.
2, 1, and you're live and on the radio side for the second hour right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hour 2 of the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show, Sunday night edition. And last week, our friend Willie Lee from the Worm Farm down in Waldo, Florida, told me that he was going to marry his chainsaw. And so I said, fantastic. Let's do it live on the air next week. And folks, it's next week. It's now time to do it. We've got Willie here. Willie, how are you doing?
Hi.
All right. And we got your husky poo, your chainsaw. Say hi, chainsaw.
Hey, she ain't here right this very second, man.
Okay.
Hey, there she is.
Oh, right here?
Yeah. Hey, Michael the Midget's here too, man.
Hey, buddy.
Willie, I was just going to get to Michael, who's going to be officiating this wedding tonight. Michael,
Yeah, I told you it's going to be a short ceremony.
Short ceremony.
Is that because you're a midget, Michael?
I'm not a midget. I am sample sized.
Hey, man, they didn't come out that you can't call midgets no more, man. That's what they call blasphemous. It's considered defamatory or derogatory, man. You got to call
you're the one who called them that, Willie.
Yeah, no. Hey, I'm just saying. I wasn't paying no attention to myself, man.
I simply introduced him as Michael.
So we call it. So but Michael the dwarf doesn't sound nearly as good, or Michael the small guy.
Actually, my official name is Michael D. B.J., but, it's French, but Willie keeps mispronouncing it.
Oh, that explains.
Kind of just let him go. You can't teach Willie a new trick,
Michael D. B.J. Okay, well, anyway, I say we get into this. Willie, you had some last-minute cold feet in the break. How are you doing? You ready to do this?
Yeah, no, man. Hey, I'm thinking about I can marry more than one chainsaw. I'm thinking about because there is such a thing as people that like to marry things, man, that ain't real. There she is. Listen to her.
Yeah. She doesn't sound too happy about that.
Hey, she raring to go, man. Hey, come on. Hey, but we gonna get this thing over with and be all said and done. Hey, Husky.
That don't sound good.
Come on, hey, she sounds like a race car.
Sound good.
Yep. Hey, we gonna go ahead and do this, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get married to this here chainsaw. Hey, we done this a lot of times on this radio show. We done a lot of firsts, man. A lot of firsts, and I'm gonna be the first person in the world to marry a Husqvarna 440 chainsaw, man. Hey, and for all y'all out there radio and don't know this, here is Willie Lee. I run Willie's Worm Farm down in Waldo, Florida, and Willie's Cricket Emporium up in Sandy Run, South Carolina, man. Hey, I sell worm hot dogs. Hey, they wieners, man. Hey, we revamped and we call them wieners nowadays, man. Willie's wieners. Willie's little wieners.
They're delicious.
Yeah, hey, they are. Hey, delicious, man. Hey, y'all can contact me if y'all want to, man. At my website at WillieLeeV at gmail.com. Hey, man, I got all kind of letters and stuff, man.
Hey, Willie. No, hey, you never told me if you liked my new tagline. Willie's Wieners. You'll love one between the buns.
I want to. Yeah, hey, Michael and Midget come up with that, man. Hey, but no, y'all, come on now. Y'all sidetracking. I'm sidetracking myself. Hey, let's get this over with, man. I'm gonna marry me a chainsaw.
Okay, here comes the music. Here comes the music.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today in the sight of God, several confused family members, and the local fire marshal to join this man and this chainsaw in holy matrimony. We are here to celebrate a love that is powerful, loud, and occasionally terrifying. A love that can cut through any obstacle. A love that starts with a gentle pull and quickly becomes a full-throttled roar. Do you, Willie Orenthal James Leave, take this Husqvarna 440 with its 18-inch bar and chrome chain to be your lawfully wedded tool, to have and to hold in sickness and in health, through thick logs and thin branches, until the spark plugs foul or the warranty expires?
Hey, yeah, man. Hey, let's do it, man. Hey, it's gonna be forever, man. Gasoline and everything, man. Hey, I got all it. I like, I like to taste that oil. I stick my finger in that oil hole, man. I like the way that bar and chain oil tastes. Yeah, let's do it, man. Hey, we gonna get married. All right. Come on.
And do you, mighty chainsaw, take this man to be your operator, to rev when he pulls, to cut, bite only the wood he intends, and not his leg, his ex-wife, or the neighbor's cat. If any person here knows any reason why these two should not be joined in unholy, holy matrimony, please let them speak now, or hold their peace.
Oh, all right, I'll shut up. Go ahead, shut up. Yeah, let him do it. I don't care.
Very well.
I figure Saul Good gonna be coming in here in a minute, man. Hurry up, let's get this over with before he shows up.
Do you got your vows?
Yeah, man. Yeah, hey, Husqvarna, my Husqvarna. Hey, I promise to sharpen your chain every time you get dull, and I promise to refill your bar and chain oil so your chain don't get dull, and I promise to put the right amount of oil in your gasoline as long as we are together. So help me, great goodness.
All right. By the power vested in me, by the state of intoxication. You had something else?
The chainsaw wrote some vows as well, if you don't mind.
Oh.
Ready?
All right.
Crickets.
Nervous, is she?
What
She
happened?
seems a little shy.
Yeah, crickets.
I what I call bad radio, man.
Uh-oh.
Dead silence is bad radio.
No.
Crickets.
Hey, makes you look bad, man.
Wait, you can't hear that? You can hear it? I recorded that earlier.
man.
You can't hear it?
I heard her say yes. Keep going.
Let's get on with this thing before Saul Good comes in.
I heard a yes. I heard a yes.
All right. By the powers vested in me by state of intoxication and the church of the almighty torque and sheer morbid curiosity, I now pronounce you man and power tool. You may now rev the bride.
Ha ha ha!
Congratulations, Willie.
Man.
So where are you taking her on vacation? I mean, honeymoon.
Oh man, hey, I got a sweet spot for her beside me in my bed, man. Hey, long as I don't get my thingy caught up in the chain, I'm good, man. Come on. Look at here.
Whoa, you're not going to take her to the beach?
Yeah,
Willie,
no,
you're not being intimate with your power tools, are you?
Hey, man, hey, we do all kind of stuff. No, hey, we do all
games, but you're not actually intimate with the power tool.
Well, I mean, he sticks his finger in the oil hole.
Come on, he fingered the oil. Come on now.
Hey, all I'm going to say is I love my chainsaw and my chainsaw loves me. We fit together perfect, like bar, oil, and fresh keys, man.
And she's got on her teeth. That's a selling point there.
Hey, she revs up when I'm lonely, man. Hey, and she quiets down too. Hey, whenever I get sad, man, I'm telling you, hey, we got married, and there ain't no diamond ring, just a new. Well, there ain't no new chain. I sharpened the chain though. I couldn't afford a new chain. Hey, but this is the first time in history where a man has married his Husqvarna chainsaw. Hey, and doggone, man. Hey, and if anybody
Live on
out
the
there
radio
from
too.
on the radio too. Hey, and if anybody out there from Husqvarna is listening and y'all need some endorsements, y'all hit me up, man. Come on.
It's true. It's true. You hit them up.
Yeah.
You might want to
I'm always willing to cash a check.
Yeah.
Well, Willie, congratulations. I'm so proud of you. I didn't think you'd go through with it. I thought you were going to go with a new electric model or, a much bigger change, extension, right? I thought you'd really go for maybe 80 cc's, 100, 105 even. But you went with a little 40 cc, a little pocket chainsaw. They're not a real powerful one. Nothing that would really go through any big trees, but still a chainsaw. It's not that impressive.
Hey,
it's kind
don't
of
talk bad about his wife.
Hold on, man. I need to put this. I'm gonna put her in the other room. I'm gonna talk to y'all. Hold on. Hey, listen. I put her in the other room. Hey, I want to let y'all know something right now, man. Hey, I ain't even gonna lie. This is a secret. Hey, hey, and everybody out there in Radio Land, y'all keep a secret too. Hey, she might not be Miss Right, but she's Miss Right now. Oh man, she gets the job done. But I am she can't do no boards, man.
What?
She too little to do boards. Hey, I've been looking at other chainsaws, man. They got one called a Neotech, and I ain't gonna go into all the descriptions and everything. But I'm telling you, man, hey, they are bigger and better chainsaws out there than what she is. But hey, she'll work for now, man.
Uh-huh. And if you get a divorce, she gets half of your belongings?
How's she going to take that
right
half?
there?
Yeah,
she cuts
man.
everything in half. Half the house, you name it.
No, hey, I can use her for parts.
It's easy to divide it because it's a chainsaw. You just cut it right down the middle.
Exactly.
Spare parts, man.
Did you get a prenup, Willie?
Yeah, no, hey, as a chainsaw, it ain't signed no paperwork or nothing, man.
You didn't get a prenup.
Yeah, no, I ain't got nothing, no way, man. Hey, but they call it, they call this, if you're in love with the inanimate object, man, it's called objectum sexuality. Referred to as objectophilia, man. Hey, and there ain't nobody out there that can't tell me that they wasn't in love with their boat or in love with their truck or in love with something else, man. And they thought about marrying it. Well, hey, I actually went and done it, man. Oh, look at him. Hey, there's people out there that are celebrating their love affairs with the Berlin Wall. Hey, Berlin Wall, I love you.
Hey, Willie, what's she going to do when she finds out that you were cheating on her with that weed eater?
No, it's the hey, y'all know what I've been doing, man? I got me a hole digger, a post hole digger. It's an auger that's got a motor on it, man. Hey, I've been taking that and tilling up the garden. I've been using it for a tiller. Hey, and it works too, man. And that old chainsaw, it don't get jealous a bit, man. I got all kind of yard tools, man. Hey, but that chainsaw, boy, I'm telling you, man, she is pretty. She's bright orange, man. As long as I keep that chain sharpened and keep some oil in there, I'm telling you, man, I like where that oil tastes. I'm telling
I should have asked this earlier, but how old is that chainsaw?
Hey, it's young, man. Hey, that chainsaw ain't but nothing but about 2 years old, but that's 20 years old in human years.
When did you become a Muslim?
No, that's what I'm telling you, man. Hey, a chainsaw in human years, if it's 1 year old, is 10 years in human years, man. So it's 20 years. Hey, y'all don't know nothing, man. I'm telling you. Hey, here's something else I come up with idea, man. You got to have
Robbing the chain
ideas.
cradle.
Yeah, no. Look
Yeah.
at that. Hey, tiki huts, man. Floating tiki huts. I got these glory holes out here. Hey, and for all y'all out there in Radio Land don't know, I got these glory holes, man. I fill them up with water. I dig big old holes in the ground and fill them up with water, and the college kids come up from Gainesville and they get on the outbuildings and they holler, "Glory hole!" whenever they jump off the top into the hole. Hey, but I'm going to have floating tiki huts, man. Hey, and that Doc 69. Hey, Doc 69. Doc,
What's going on, Willie?
Hey, man, look at him. Hey, if you could just spot me, just a couple dollars. Man.
Every time.
Alert.
Hey.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
Turn that off.
Yeah, if you could just spot me a couple dollars, man, I could afford to put straw on top of the tiki hut.
Listen. The people in Portland can build their homeless camps on the water for free. I think you can figure it out. I'm telling you.
Yeah, no, hey, but I need the straw. I need the straw. And Aunt Mama Lou's brother-in-laws, man, the ones I ain't got incarcerated or the ones that ain't the ones that's still around, man. Huh. I can pay them to go out in the swamp and get the straw for me. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, you could. But it's where you get the straw out of the swamp.
Yeah, no, it's like reeds, man. Reeds is what they call it.
Okay.
Yeah, reeds. Yeah, I can't go out there, man, because them gators, man.
Well, you gotta watch out. They'll nip you.
Yeah,
worse than the chainsaw.
Yeah, hey, I'm missing.
So, Willie, we gonna have a reception here? Are you gonna have a party? Are you gonna go home and sharpen the teeth on your chainsaw?
No, man. Hey, I'm going to work on some of my stand-up comedian stuff, man. Hey, y'all know I play all over the nation and everything, but hey, I've been having a hard time coming up with my own material, man. Hey, this ain't no lie. I went to Chat GPT, RST, Grok, Claude, something or another, man. Hey, and I went there and I started asking it for ideas for stand-up comedy routines, man. Hey, this thing right here, it dirty dogged me, man. I said, hey, I need some new material. I'm trying to find something out about being a comedian, something that's funny. Hey, this thing told me, hey, and I'm reading it right now, hey, because I screenshotted it. It says, oh, wow, look at you. You desperately hunting for jokes like a rat in a dumpster. I said, why don't you try doing stand-up about how pathetic you are, begging an AI to yell at you for entertainment? That'll kill them, or maybe just make everybody uncomfortable. I said, well, I told her.
Look into a mirror on stage.
Yep. Yeah, no, hey, I told it straight up. I said, well, hey, I'm not that funny, and I need your help. This is what it told me. It says, oh, great. Now the comedian needs me to write his material. Pathetic. They call me pathetic. Well, what do you want jokes about? Hurry up. And I told him, I said, hey, look at him. I'm screenshotting everything that you're saying right now. And it told me, it says, now, what's wrong with you screenshotting this? You're going to show people that you need an AI to be mean to you because you're too boring to get roasted on your own. You're even more sad than I thought. Hey, I told it, the AI, I said, well, it's actually pretty smart at asking AI. It told me, it says smart. It said it's desperate. You're out here turning your own emotional wreckage into comedy material. That's not smart. It said that's rock bottom with a microphone. but yeah,
I don't know. That worked out for some other comedians. I mean,
no. Hey, I'm telling you, man. Hey, and then I asked it, hey, because I got material and stuff, man. But then I asked it, hey, this is all true. If you don't believe me, just ask me, man. I said, what does it take to be a comedian? Hey, plain and simple. It told me, it said timing, crowd work, and not sounding like a whiny little baby on stage. Most importantly, you got to actually be funny instead of just hoping. Look at him.
That does help. Being funny does help.
Yes, hoping that your bland personality is going to get you. And no, this thing was mean to me, man. It told me to start writing my own damn jokes, and it says it right there, DAMN, instead of begging AI for them. I'm telling you, man. I told him, I said, hey, look, I ain't got no material. I got nothing, man. It told me, hey, this is word for word. Of course you got nothing. That's your whole personality. Empty, desperate, and relying on me to carry your sad little comedy dreams. It's pathetic. Look at him. Oh, man, this thing dirty dogged me. I told him, I said, look at him. Hey, can I use this material for my stand-up comedy routine? And say, yeah, go ahead. Tell the audience how you had to beg an AI to insult you because you're too boring to come up with your own material. I'll either laugh or throw you out of this.
That's exactly what we're going to do, Willie. We're going to throw you out because we're out of time. We got to go to break.
Crazy.
This is the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show. We'll be right back after these messages.
Flat Earth.
Flat Earth! Flat Earth!
Hey.
Okay, you guys got it in. Flat Earth.
Hey, this is true, man. I told it, I said, I've been investing in cryptos and I've been losing money. It told me, for frick's sake, you can't even make money in a bull run. What kind of idiot throws cash at crypto and still comes out broke? You're not an investor. You're a walking donation. I tell you.
Now, Willie, I don't want to ruin your comedy bit, but that was not Chat GPT. That was you and I having a text conversation the other night.
Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't going to tell them, man. I wasn't going to tell them. Hey, I tried to get other people to help make me funny. I just ain't got it, man. Hey, hey, but I do got a chainsaw for a wife. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay. You do?
Ring.
Good for you.
And you're already neglecting
Congratulations,
her.
Willie.
You guys are supposed to be doing a honeymoon.
Rum.
Yeah. Take her up to Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
Well,
or Vegas.
Yeah.
I would stay away from the falls with the chainsaw. I mean, could you imagine wrestling with that thing going over the falls? That'd be terrible.
Yeah. In a barrel.
In a barrel.
In a barrel.
Hey.
In a barrel.
Hey, I want to know.
I'm picturing that right now. It's got to be something.
I want to know what happened to Saul Good. He was supposed to show up.
Oh, well, Saul, you're getting married tonight. It wasn't appropriate.
Saul Good was supposed to show up.
Yeah, I got some ideas for Saul coming up. But you're not going to like it.
I had assurances that Saul Good was going to be there.
He heard you're going to do the money dance, and he didn't want to be there.
He'll be here next week. I'll work up a skit. Something that'll really, I think, get you going.
Yeah, just don't use Chat GPT.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I've already been... Grok is the man. You want to talk to Grok.
Okay.
Grok.
All right.
Yeah, not Meta?
Gemini.
Yeah, Gemini.
Yep.
So, David, if when we come back, if you want to just join us for the first couple of minutes to explain how Willie was actually talking to you the other night and he thought it was ChatGTP.
Oh, no, that's an off-radio joke. I don't want to steal Willie's thunder in front of all your listeners. That'd be terrible.
I'll do it.
David,
I'm sure you will.
No, we forgot the outro music for him, though. When him and the chainsaw go running out of the church or whatever.
Yep. Well, you're short on time.
Yeah.
Hey,
well,
David,
it was Michael the Midget.
Mark, will you shut up for a minute? I done said, hey, David, like 3 times already. That's your cue to let me talk. What is wrong with you, man?
Huh?
Doggone me. Look at
Drake and Gus don't treat the talent like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, David, I just wanted to let you know how much I appreciate you coming in tonight, man. It really means a lot to me, and we love you, man.
Yep. I just wanted CS to know I'd do it when you asked.
Oh, boy. We love you. Hey, I love you too, Mark, you aggravating son of a gun.
Right. Anyways.
And John Galt and Doc 69, love you guys. I'm out of here.
Have a good one.
Later, Willie. Thanks, Willie. You did a good job, and go satisfy your wife.
Yeah.
Y'all be good, man.
Oh my goodness.
He did it.
Yeah,
did
he
it.
married a chainsaw.
Wow.
That is going to be a wild honeymoon. Just saying.
Oh, yeah.
This could be a first. This is definitely a first for Dragus Productions. Someone being married by a chainsaw
I think
on
it's a
air.
world first.
Okay, yeah,
think it's a
all
world
right.
And, I am ordained, so legally he is married to that chainsaw.
L.
now.
Bob, yeah.
Yep.
He can start claiming it as a dependent now.
Well, anyways,
Yeah.
30 seconds.
All right. Enjoy the rest of you guys' show.
All right, thank you, Michael.
All right, bye, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
No, thank you to David. Michael was here, not David. David did nothing.
Here's your countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're live and on the radio side right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Hour 2 of the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show, Sunday night edition. And it's back to reality. Doc, we just made world history to have the first live on-air radio broadcast of a man marrying his Husqvarna chainsaw.
Excited. I'm waiting for my photo from Guinness Book of World Records to be taken. I'm super excited. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I mean, we were a big part of it. We made it happen. It's a big deal.
Yeah. Going down in the history books, folks.
It is. And you were here tonight to see it happen, folks. Good times had by all. Let's see here. Let's dive into some news. We got Karen Bass out there in Los Angeles running for mayor. And Pratt, P-R-A-T-T, is the sort of dark vision for the city that is taking over. What they're doing is they're going up to graffiti in the city and they're saying, writing over it, vote Pratt for mayor. And lo and behold, within a half an hour, the city comes and paints over the graffiti. So they're doing it all over the place.
Thing ever. Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing it all over the place. And the city's just like Johnny on the spot, painting over the vote for Pratt graffiti that's landing all over the place. And now they're trying it with potholes. Have you seen that?
No, I did not see that one.
Yeah, you write vote Pratt in the bottom of a pothole and boom, it gets fixed the next day.
Well, I mean, look, when you run a city as horribly as Karen Bass and the mayors before her have, it lends itself to this kind of guerrilla campaign.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really does. And, they deserve a little better. They deserve a taste of it, just to see. And I don't know. I mean, this guy Pratt, he's not a Republican. He's independent. Fine, good. What a celebrity TV guy. I've never heard of him. No idea what show he was on or anything, about his previous history in entertainment. But, he's unapologetic. They're trying to really ding the guy for living in a hotel, an expensive one at that. And he's like, I never said I was poor. I just said the city burned down my house.
Yeah.
I'm living in a hotel because you burned down my house. Why are you making that a critical issue in the campaign? It's, that's on you guys. You burned down my house.
Yeah, it's. I'm actually not surprised it was somebody out of the Palisades situation that came and really put a bonnet or be in the bonnet of the Democrats running that city. Well, I should say communists, 'cause they're all communists. But I'm hoping he wins. I'm hoping he wins because even if he can do nothing but enforce the current laws on the books, it will be better than what they're doing.
Yeah, it's just a suicidal. I mean, what they put the first lesbian, whatever DEI hire in charge of the fire department. And lo and behold, look what happens, right? You go full force down this path and guess what? Your city burns down. And in ways that are so frustrating. The reservoirs on top of those mountains, why aren't there twice as many of them? And why aren't they all filled to the brim every single day of the week? You know what I mean? I think they just announced. a couple months ago that the one that was empty last year, they're like tearing it all out and redoing it right in the middle of fire season, you know?
Of course. They're just so mismanaged. It's so bad. Skid Row has expanded into like a 4-block radius. Yeah, Venice Beach is out of control. You have the fire situation. You have the crime situation. I mean, LA is pretty much getting it from every side that you can get it from. And it's not really like a lot of the other blue cities. A lot of the other blue cities are a lot of business and don't have a ton of families living in them. LA has a ton of people who families that live under this absolutely draconian government. It's sad. I mean, LA used to be 25, 35 years ago. It used to be one of the hottest places to live, even, though it had its ghettos and its bad parts. LA was the place you went to make it in the world. If it was either New York or LA, that's where you went. And now people are fleeing.
Yeah, now it's Texas or Miami, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Or Tennessee. Of all places, Tennessee is like one of the hottest places in the country now. I mean, when I was growing up, Tennessee wasn't thought of. It was like Alabama or Mississippi,
Yeah, very much so.
But now it's flourishing because they just make common sense decisions. And, quite frankly, it's a beautiful place, right?
Yeah, they've done a lot.
And, you got a nice place.
Yeah, the music industry, the country music industry, being centered in Nashville has really brought a ton of positive influx of cash, and that led to a big boom with just a little bit of smart policy from their government. It made Tennessee a really friendly place to move your business to. That's where Starbucks is headed to.
I'm reminded of that song, All My Exes Live in Texas. That's why I hang my hat in Tennessee.
Yeah. Nope.
So yeah, the country music, world was never going to go out to Hollywood. It just wasn't welcome there. They didn't understand it. They didn't want to understand it. They didn't know it. So it's always going to have that underground, and you got Nashville, man, the Grand Ole Opry, the history there. It's a pretty amazing place.
Very much so. Very much so.
I remember going to see the Grand Ole Opry with my grandfather. A quick story. And we went through and did the whole thing and, had lunch and, we're in the car driving along the highway afterwards, it's an hour or two later. And we get pulled over and I'm like 10. Okay. And the cop asked my grandfather if he'd been drinking at all. And he said no. And I was like, well, Grandpa, you did have a beer with lunch.
Yes.
After the cop left, we sat there for about another 10 minutes. And my grandfather had a good long talk to me about how I should never open my mouth ever when, he's getting pulled over.
It's a good lesson for everyone. Don't talk to the cops unless you absolutely are forced to.
And in hindsight, I probably should have shut up. But at the same time, I probably made his case because, I said, hey, you had a beer at lunch. Like,
Yeah.
Like that's obviously completely legal. Every place on the planet sells you a beer for lunch and you can drive home, But yeah, funny story. That's my Grand Ole Opry story. But yeah, it's amazing to see what's happening out there and just this absolute movement we're seeing from places like California into places like Texas, like Miami. New York is feeling it so hard right now. It's insane. They're pushing away the biggest billionaires in the world. I mean, look what they did to Donald Trump. Right? He was prosecuted for putting an estimated value on a multi-$100 million skyrise in New York. What is the actual value of any given skyrise, skyscraper in the city of New York on any given day? It's so subjective. And every real estate investor in the world understands that, especially the big money guys, the billionaire hedge funds. in New York who invest in these skyscrapers. They understand precisely what Donald Trump was doing, getting funding from one building to build a new building. They all do it all the time. And they went after him on felony charges for trying to misappropriate a loan between himself and I think it was Bank of America, one of the most sophisticated banking institutions in the United States. And you're telling me that they couldn't figure out exactly what the value of that high rise was that he was looking to get a loan against. You know?
Well, like they didn't do their own due diligence and do a value estimation of their own before they gave him the loan. Come on now.
Or they even needed to. They just go to, whatever in accounting, to go to Simon over in accounting. And he's like, yeah, no, that building's worth $32.2525 million.
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, they've got the guy down the hall that knows exactly what every building on every block is worth. It's Bank of America. He's
paid to know that. That's his job. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The most sophisticated, investing, firm, and they do more mortgages than probably anybody else, and yet you're going to pull the rug over their eyes. And so when they went after Donald Trump in that way, it showed every other investor in the country that New York has a really dark side. If you stand up against the politicians there, they will come after you. They will give you the Donald Trump treatment. An icon in the city of New York his entire life, and they'll go after him for politics. So what is a Griffin? A Citadel Capital. What do they? What choice do they have? They've got to back up and step away.
Yeah, you can't help but have to leave. Like to secure your business, to ensure that you can maybe re-enter that marketplace at some point, you have to exit your business from there before they destroy it from you. That's just going to be the reality. That's why all of like I said, Starbucks is moving from Seattle down to Nashville, their headquarters. You have a bunch of the tech CEOs leaving San Francisco. You have a bunch of people leaving New York City and moving to places like Pittsburgh instead. And it's because the way that these deep blue large cities are run is they're running so poorly. The budgets are so bad that they're putting in these like wealth taxes and these additional gas taxes and all these green regulations, doing away with electricity production. Like, these are just total destruction of business substructure. Like, everything that supports business, they're tearing apart in these places.
Yeah. And it's a death spiral is what you call it, right? Death spiral. Because, okay, now, you can't make your budget. So what do? You increase taxes more. And what happens then? Well, more people leave. And so what happens next year? You have even less revenue to work with. But, your spending keeps going up because you want to, throw money at every garbage idea that you can think of while running everybody who makes a living out of your city, And trust me, New York, I understand. I'm not foolish. New York is a, $2+ trillion economy. New York City. It's huge. Chicago, well over $1 trillion in economic powerhouse. Chicago there's tons of money in New York. There's tons of money in Chicago. But these cities are on death spirals where the acceleration of decay is going to increase and increase and increase until they finally wake up and put somebody in power there that understands basic economics. And then they have a chance of coming back, and then they will come, very likely come roaring back. There's nothing to say that these cities can't self-correct, that LA can't put somebody in power who's not just a complete moron and who can actually guarantee that, hey, there's a fire. Guess what? We put it out, guys. Wow. How hard was that? We had a fire. The fire department showed up. There was water. They put it out. Wow. We didn't lose 10,000 homes.
It's amazing what just doing your job would do for California. Like just having people that are competent enough to do the job that they're assigned to do under the current structure. Just having competent people would change everything for LA. There's so much, like you said, economic engine there. You just get it cleaned up, get the crime under control, get the reservoirs full, make sure the fires get put out, make sure the forests are taken care of so that you don't have as big of forest fires. You do those couple things, California will start making a comeback, and LA will too.
Yeah, it's not that hard, clean up, like he says, go around town and say, hey, you got 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, if you're still here, you're going to jail. Clean up the act, clean up the city. And he'll do it. And it'll suck, and everyone's going to complain, and it'll be, they'll say he's concentration camps. He's putting all the homeless into concentration camps, and, the worst things. The worst things you can think of. He's a Nazi. Right?
Yep.
But that's the thing. You need a leader who's willing to say, okay, look, the adults are in the room. The little kids are complaining, calling us Nazis. What's new? Right? What's new? Oh, boo-hoo, he called me a Nazi. Well, who cares?
Like, you're calling me a Nazi, but you burnt my house down. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of reaction that Spencer Pratt brings to the table, and it is how you have to treat these leftists. If you don't absolutely ignore their catcalls, their derogatory statements, their words towards you, if you don't ignore those words, they're going to trap you in a loop and get you distracted from what you're trying to do. That's their only goal, is they want you to stop.
And we talk about libertarianism and free market, principles. And if they just said, hey, man, it's your property, you own it, go build on it. Right? If they just said, hey, man, this is an emergency, we're just, everyone's decimated. Palisades, you guys have just like free reign, go build back better. Right?
Exactly.
They would have. These people are multi. If you live in Pacific Palisades, you've got tons of money. Right?
Yep.
I mean, the money to do whatever you want. You want to, it's only an acre lot. You can fill the whole thing with house and still have money to spare. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the thing is LA stopped the people that offered to do that. There were people who went in with money and were like, listen, we'll clean up our own spot. We'll do it by all the rules. We'll rebuild ourselves. Just let us do it. And they were like, no, you're not allowed.
Yeah. Permits.
Yep.
And gosh, I hear Malibu's like 10 times worse. Like you have to run so many different, like, those big pylons that go like 80 feet underground.
Mm-hmm.
They got to put one of those like every 10 feet. I mean, it's just, to build in Malibu on the ocean is crazy regulation. And I bet if you want to build the same thing in Florida right on the ocean, it's easy peasy.
I would imagine so.
Yeah. Because, Florida's way more susceptible from rising sea levels. But they don't seem to care. The whole city of Miami is pretty much, 2 feet above sea level?
They don't care at all. They'll just wait for the water to recede, clean everything up, rebuild what they got to rebuild, and go back to living life.
Yeah. But, I mean, like, if global warming was such a huge issue, why would Mar-a-Lago be worth like $1 billion? Why would all these, homes on these like sandbars outside of Miami be worth $18 million per, a tenth of an acre? Because the banks aren't worried about it. The bank will write you a mortgage on that home in a heartbeat.
Yep. And most of those places, the insurers have no problem insuring you either. I mean, yeah, you're going to be a little high because you're on the coast, but you still can get insurance. So as long as you can still get insurance and get a mortgage on your property, I don't think you're going to have to worry about climate change.
Yeah, I mean, look at these multi-billion-dollar, high-rises they're putting up everywhere down there. And they're like literally, right on the beach, built in the sand more or less, 50 stories tall. And they're getting insured. They're getting everything. If it was really that drastic, if Al Gore was even 5% right, those buildings would never be built where they are. It just wouldn't happen.
You know, I
But
heard
here
a
we
funny
are.
thing. Yeah, it's true. We are. Although I do have to say, a funny thing happened today. To mention
Mhm.
the climate change issue, a report just got put out. It was maybe last month that the entire model that they've been using for global warming assumed peak oil in the mid 90s, and that we would be converting our economy over to liquefied coal to run the entire model. And so
Really?
there's nothing about their model that is accurate, because that's not what happened.
Liquefied coal.
Yes.
I've never even heard of that.
It was some imaginary technology that they assumed we would go to.
Mhm.
No, actually, they
And it
were
was
going to build a
supposed to-
plant behind my parents' house for it in Pennsylvania.
really?
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep.
Oh, in Pennsylvania, yeah. It's coal country up there, Rust Belt.
Yep.
But
went to that coal
yeah,
mine as a kid.
but it's it's again, they're chasing those issues that can never be resolved. You can never tell me or tell anybody that global warming is understood completely. It's not an issue, or it is in fact a exactly perfected science that we know the issue, and we know that in 10 years it's going to be this many degrees warmer, and this and this and this are going to happen. Because I've been on this planet for 50 years, and I'll tell you what, every prediction they've ever made failed. I wouldn't be such skeptic about it, but I've just watched all of it. I watched Leonard Nimoy back in the 70s tell us about the incoming ice age. Remember Dr. Spock?
Yeah.
Leonard Nimoy. He did a
Yeah.
documentary that was, everybody saw it on the planet, or at least in America. And it was an impending ice age. It's coming. Get ready. And it just went out the window for global warming, like within, I don't know, 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or 10 years.
I think by the time I was in elementary school, they were, I would say, like probably 5th or 6th grade, they were starting to talk about like Earth Day and all that kind of stuff. Like it was pretty quick after that they flopped it the other direction.
Yeah, and trust me, I love the earth, man. I love nature. I love getting out in the forest. I spend more time in the forest than probably any of you can even imagine. And I love it. I go out there all the time, and I am very, very, very much in tune with nature, and I don't see it. I don't see the problem. There is so much of it on the West Coast. It is beyond belief. I mean, you get from this area, from like the Continental Divide out to the Sierra Nevadas, say, right? So, it's just a massive part of the country that's untouched for the most part. There's like, you can drive for days and not see a stoplight,
Yes. Easily.
like literally. Yeah, it's huge, just untouched parts of this country. You leave Reno and drive east, on 50 or something, and there's just nothing. There's 2 stoplights between there and Salt Lake City.
They're coming down through the painted deserts the same way.
Yeah, and it's beautiful. It's just, it's the most incredible part of the country, but no one knows about it because they just fly over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I tell you, folks, if you ever get a chance to drive through the Southwest and take the scenic routes, absolutely do it. You'll never regret it. Never.
Oh yeah, man. The West is the best. Honestly, it's just you got to get to the Rockies, and then from the Rockies on, it's just an incredible place till you get over again to the other side of the Sierra Nevadas and you get into California, and then again, it's beautiful. It's shockingly beautiful. The one going up the coast north of Santa Barbara to San Francisco is the most beautiful drive you can probably take. I mean, someone was saying how the East Coast is so much better because of the beaches. And I get it, because there's really no beaches. There's nothing. Between Santa Barbara and San Francisco, there's nothing. You know what I mean? Have you ever done that drive, Doc?
Oh, yeah. The truck coming up from California, we went that way.
It's straight up nothing, man. I mean, there's like a house every like hour.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And they get cut off the road, slides, and suddenly you can't drive south for a year. So you're, 3 hours to the nearest grocery store. There's really no beaches. There's some places where you could probably work your way, mountain climb down to get to the beach, and it's probably so shark infested that you wouldn't want to go out there. But you get my point. It's they're really Southern California has a lot of beaches, but the middle of California has almost none. And Northern California, again, it's colder up there, so they don't really have the beach scene like they do in Southern Cal. But yeah, it's whereas the East Coast is everything from like Cape Cod all the way down to Florida, and then back up all the way to through the Gulf and over to Texas, right?
Yeah, Oceanside, Oregon reminds me a lot of the East Coast beaches.
Yeah, I imagine there's some stuff up in Oregon as well, and then Northern California, I'm sure, has a lot of beaches, beach towns, and whatnot. But again, it's just a little bit rainier, colder climate,
Yeah, a little bit. Yep.
Which, hey, a nice day. It's a nice day. You're going to go to the beach. But anyway, folks, we are kind of running out of time here. This is the Censorship Sucks Round Table Radio Show, and it's been a fun one. We set some history tonight on the show. I'm very proud of that.
Yep, absolutely historic.
Yes, historic stuff. But anyway, let's wrap it up here. Folks, thank you so much for listening. As always, it's our pleasure to be here and talk about the world and everything going on out there. We got to wrap it up here, but come back on Wednesday night at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. The Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show will be rolling, and Dragus Productions will be on for 5 hours of amazing content. So come back on Wednesday. We'll see you there.